Hey guys, welcome back to Deadman1010 and welcome back to another review video. That's the one. And this time for WWE live events and everything like that. Just to give you an idea of what I mean by that. And yeah, this will be a review video on WrestleMania 39, both nights of it. So I'm not shifting one back into the part 2 dimension. I mean, I might do when it comes to the main event of night 2, but even then, knowing how the winner went down, I don't think it's entitled for it. So based on that, yeah, we'll just dump it in with the rest of it, in this case, for this review. And we got Kicking In with Ross here with us for this whole shindig, or at least his 2 videos that outline what happened on both night 1 and 2 of Mania this year. And let's do it.
Good job, your boy Ross back at again with another video. So we're back here with another my thoughts and opinions for WrestleMania Night 1. I'm not sure if you can tell, my voice is a little bit hoarse right now from just turning up from last night with you guys live on stream. And you know, we also turned up for the homie's birthday. Shout out to Dub. Today is actually his birthday, so you know, after the stream we definitely turned up even more. That's why the video is you know, dropping a little bit later than it normally would, because I haven't really had.
Yeah, I've been a bit busy with similar things myself, along with obviously digesting the climax of night 2's main event. So that's why it's obviously taken this long for me to make my review video for this event. So yeah, apologies in advance, guys.
Enough time to post it, but you know, I'm up right now, you know, trying to get this video out for you guys, because we got a lot to talk about, man. Night 1 was a damn good show, man. Damn good show. So let's get right into it, man. Gonna get my thoughts and opinions on the entire card and what I rank.
Night 1 was an amazing night. Watching that live, that was truly a treat, to say the very least.
What was the best match for me and what I ranked Night 1 on a scale of 1 to 10. So we're going to start with the United States Championship match between John Cena versus Austin Theory. Now, we did catch the match towards, you know, like the midway, like towards the beginning and into the midway, because we were trying to set things up. I did see Austin Theory was doing a lot to, you know, channel his inner Mike Tyson. He bit John Cena's earlobe at one point. Like, he was doing everything like dirty tactics to get ahead. And not to say there wasn't.
Yeah, so the first match is Cena versus Theory. The feud was alright, because again, you can't really do much with Cena nowadays to build a feud, because, well, he's busy doing it up in Hollywood more so than he is in a wrestling ring. But saying that, Cena did make his mark on Theory, and yeah, he cooked him on the mic. Like, Jesus Christ, that was mental. But yeah, sadly, his match definitely didn't back it up. Like, even though Cena can cook people up on the mic, I didn't know whether I said that clear enough, guys. Sorry about that. But yeah, even though he can do that, his match quality isn't quite up to par the way it used to be, which is understandable, and therefore the match was okay. It was very different compared to a load of other Cena matches, which isn't really a bad thing, but it was kind of like okay. And yeah, so we saw Theory bite John Cena, not once but twice, which was Very desperate, but very good for Theory. We saw Cena lock in the STF. That was cool. We didn't see Cena hitting an attitude adjustment. We did see him hit a 5 knuckle shuffle with him doing a prayer salute, making us wonder if that was indeed his last match. Maybe so. Or maybe we've just gotten to that point where Cena's just grateful for any matches he competes in nowadays. Which I could imagine that to be the case, to be fair. Because it's not like that isn't the case, with us, the fans. Because we're grateful for it. Despite his wrestling not being up to par the way it used to, obviously. With him being a little bit older, and etc. So those things happened. Theory made his entrance, had a good gear. Cena made his entrance, that reminded me of 2016 and 2015 John Cena combined, which was quite interesting, with the kind of attire that he was rocking. And he had the Make-A-Wish kids out on the stage, which was beautiful, because Cena has done a lot of charity work with them. And fair play to him. And I didn't actually expect him to go for a new attire, to be honest. At this stage in his career, I didn't think that would happen, but obviously it did, and we got a pretty good attire as a result, which I'm happy about. So yeah, that was cool, definitely cool. So yeah, so that happened, and Theory won it as expected. Hit one A-Town down and got himself the win against Cena, which was very much needed for his career. And as I'm filming this right now, Raw has obviously gone down, and that Raw sucked, by the way. But I digress. Point is, one of the things that did happen was Theory dispatching of Rey Mysterio, who obviously went into the Hall of Fame last weekend. So Theory be taking out the Ruthless Aggression era. That's what he's literally done with Cena and Rey. Kind of insane when you really think about it for his career.
In a bad match, I just thought the match itself for the opener with John Cena in it for the United States Championship, it felt a little lackluster, especially towards the end. They went with the traditional, the ref get bumped, then the heel hits the babyface with the low blow, and then ends up hitting the baby.
Oh yeah, there was a ref bump as well, which led to Theory hitting a nasty low blow on Cena, and like I said, delivering A-Town down and getting the win, and therefore retain his US title.
Face with his finishing move while the ref is knocked out, and then ref all of a sudden comes to, counts the pinfall victory. Now the old John Cena, before you saw the bald spot and before he decided to wrestle in some custom Air Forces, shout out to you John, would have kicked out at 2.5, because Super Cena was always ready for some cheating shenanigans and somehow would win. But this is a new John.
Yeah, Super Cena would have kicked out left line and hooked, because Super Cena was different. You could not stop him. He was on a war path to eliminate anything and everything to obviously be champ and stay champ for as long as he was. And fair play to Cena obviously for that time period, even though a lot of people did not like it, which is understandable.
And I figured they were going to put him over. The right person won, in theory, is just, I didn't like how it was done. It just came off so, like, anticlimactic. So it came off like a Monday Night Raw ending to a match. Overall, it was an okay match. It wasn't the best way to start the show. A lot of you guys just felt like the ending just didn't hit. It didn't reach that point in the match where you're like, man, this is a great way to start off the show. And it doesn't really help Theory's case, I guess you can say. Because even though he got put over, I don't know if fans are still, still buying into this win and his, United States Championship title run. So I don't know. We'll see how things progress going forward. But the match was serviceable. It wasn't bad. I just felt like for this to be
The problem is Fury's not dealing with a young John Cena. Like, this is a guy that is like way past his prime, that has a freaking bold spot on him, that can still cut a good mic promo, but he can't back it up the way he used to. And that's no fault of John. Like, sometimes you just... He's just past his prime, man. He really is. And, yeah, that can't be helped. Like time, time comes to the best of us. Like, Father Time has really catched up to Cena in recent years. Like, you can definitely tell. Like, when you look at his match with Roman Reigns, that was a great match, better than his match with Theory at this year's Mania. But when you look at that and the Theory match, yeah, Father Time has definitely passed on Cena. You can tell by looking at him, and this is no dig at Cena, absolutely not. It's just the facts of the facts, And obviously, he don't work out as much as he used to, so that's another thing to take into account. So, obviously it wasn't ever going to be the greatest thing on the planet, but there you go. Obviously we got what we got, and it was okay, I guess. In any case,
opening of WrestleMania could have been a whole lot better. So the next match is Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders, the men's showcase. This should have opened up the show. I figured this match would be fun. I didn't know how good it was going to be, bro.
Yeah, that match should have opened up the show, in my opinion. Like, Braun Strowman, Ricochet, Alpha Academy, Street Profits, Viking Raiders, they teared the house down. Like, a lot of those guys tweaked. Chad Gable tweaked. Braun Strowman, of all people, tweaked with a freaking frog splash from I don't know where, which was mental. Otis tried to tweak, but couldn't. Like, everyone just went mental, and it was incredible. Like, that was way more fun than it ever needed to be. Like, sure, it was a spot fest, but that's all it needed to be, alright? Like, it was to showcase their talent, but by God, did they blow expectations out of the water. Like, that was incredible. It really was. Like, the feud, there was no feud, but that match made up for it, to say the very least. And where we'll go from here, God knows. And where we'll go from the Cena and Theory match, yeah, it's probably going to be Cena's last match. And, yeah, Theory will keep on doing Theory things, as we alluded to, with him defeating Rey Mysterio on Raw this week.
This should have opened up the show, because they showed out. Everyone had a chance to showcase their skills. A highlight for me is Chad Gable, from a deadlift suplex, He deadlifted suplex Braun Strowman. I didn't know the dude was that strong. Chad Gable is that guy, and it does look like they're starting to try to push him as that singles mid-card competitor. So it'll be very interesting to see where they go with him going forward. Looks like they may end up breaking Alpha Academy, but the dude was fantastic, bro. Fantastic. Love the spots of Ricochet selling. Ricochet's interaction with Montez Ford was great. The Viking Raiders had a nice moment. This should have started the show because the crowd was white hot with this. Like, the match started and then it went to 11 very quickly. I love.
Yeah, like, all the guys got a chance to tweak, but obviously there's some that I did call out in these past few minutes to where it's like, well, not in these past, well, not to where it's like, but you get what I mean, like calling them out a few minutes ago, because in my opinion, they got the highlights of the night. So Chad Gable and Braun Strowman, like, they went mental, but so did all of them, in all fairness. Like, I had so much fun watching that match with Sammy, along with obviously the rest of the show. And yeah, it was amazing. It really was. And Street Profits came out on top, as they should have, in my opinion. Not that it would have mattered either way.
This match, if you have a chance, go watch it. I wish this was add some stipulation like, oh, maybe whoever wins this gets a number one contender title shot at the tag team titles, because they deserved it. This was great. But Street Profits end up winning, and they had a nice WrestleMania moment. Once again, shout out to Ricochet, just selling like a champion this entire match. This was fun. This should have started
Indeed.
off WrestleMania Night 1. Felt so good. Another great match right after that. Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. I don't know what Seth be thinking when it comes to his wardrobe, but I will say this.
I don't know what the hell Rollins was wearing. Seriously. What the hell was that? The only thing I could think of was Jeff Jarrett. But that Hall of Famer Jeff Jarrett. But that's all I can think of. Because apart from that, what in the bloody hell was he wearing? Seriously. That was insane. And then Logan Paul came out on a zip line, which was cool. Even though I went mental at him during the whole show. Like, I was very, very, like, biased towards who I wanted to win, which was Seth. And he did. And those guys had a phenomenal match. And, yeah, Logan Paul obviously got his viral moment thanks to Seth, where Paul put KSI through the table. And, yep, that happened. I don't know what to say. It's best I don't say anything. But either way, it happened. Rollins got his win, thankfully. And obviously the feud has ended. And Seth has done nothing since then, which is annoying. But we'll see what occurs. Obviously. The feud was amazing, by the way.
He's confident in himself. It's a little on the zest side, but you can't deny the dude when he gets in that ring, he knows how to put on a show. And Logan Paul recreating the WrestleMania entrance with HBK coming from the rafters. That was such a cool moment. Like, bro, shout out to him not having no fear being up there. Like, it was anything could happen. Gladly, nothing did. Him promoting his drink and then having the mascot, you know what I'm saying, come out there, the prime mascot. Like, this was fun. And
yeah, he also was a prime mascot, which obviously everyone in their cat and dog have heard about that frickin' drink. I sure as hell have. And I may not like Logan Paul, or his drink for that matter, but obviously he did put on a hell of a show as such with Seth. So as much as I don't want to say it, but props to him in any case. But moving on. Also, I'm gonna vomit at the thought of doing that. In any case,
Logan showed you why you may not like him. The motherfucker can go. The dude is just great in the ring. He has this ring of presence. He knows what he's doing. Like I've never really noticed how fluid and how natural it felt for him to be in that ring as much as I did yesterday with someone as of a caliber as Seth Rollins, who's gonna put on a good show. It was fantastic. Him hitting the GTS was crazy, you know what I'm saying? A little nod to CM Punk there. Also,
indeed.
His buckshot lariat looks very good.
Yeah, people thought that. Yeah, I wonder whether that will lead to anything to do with CM Punk returning, but I don't think it will. But it was cool that they referenced it as the GTS when Logan Paul delivered it. So yeah, that was cool. Very, very cool.
Good.
What the commentators
he was
did.
Showing the stops, and I love the fact that, you know what I'm saying, they made it seem as if he actually had a chance and he belonged there. And then, of course, the integration with having KSI as the prime drink mascot that was at ringside was hilarious. I thought that was so cool. Like, just to see these guys that are, you know, at one point, you know, they were primarily just YouTubers. Like, what I'm doing, they're at WrestleMania in a marquee match, having the time of their lives. And of course, Logan going to the top as Seth is laying on the table. You know, it looks like Seth about to get hit with a beautiful frog splash from the top of the rope all the way to the announce table. But Rollins moves out the way just in time, and KSI ends up eating a frog splash in the suit, going through the table. Great, beautiful spot. You know, this match was fun. This was a very, very, very fun match. I don't know what to tell you. You may not like Logan, but every match he...
When you love this game, you go anywhere for it.
God's sake,
You go for highs and lows, and all across the globe. Win, lose or draw, we go all the same, because we go for the love of the game. Wherever you go, Trivago.
he has knocked it.
That was annoying.
Any opponent, he's knocked it out the park with. In this one, more or less the same. Great match, fun match. Definitely go watch it if you haven't seen it already. Now, this is kind of a low point of the show. Unfortunately, it's always going to be a low point. Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus versus Damage Control.
Here's the thing. I get why you would say that it was a low point, but personally for me, seeing Trish come out on that WrestleMania stage while watching it obviously from the comfort of my own home, seeing Lita walk out there as well was truly amazing, watching that live. Lita for the second time for me, Trish for the first, like, that was amazing. Like, those are the moments that you cherish. But saying that, and Becky Lynch was also involved too, versus Damage Control. But saying that, Trish should have turned heel. Like, yeah. I feel a bit gypped that they didn't do that. Like, why? Why did they not do that? And Sammy felt a similar way when we were watching the show on Discord separately while talking about it. Like, me and him felt a similar way. And, yeah. And therefore, Trish, Lita, and Bex won. And, yeah, they've got to break Damage Control up. Bailey, Dakota, Io. Because it's just not working. It really isn't. And, yeah, the feud was fine, and what has happened since is nothing really to ride home about, and I think it'll stay that way. So, or at least until we get that Trish heel turn, but I digress. Either way, the match was fine, but that's almost besides the point, or besides the point, to be honest. Like, I was more giddy about the fact that Trish and Lita were in the ring more so than the actual match. In my mind, like, I was more giddy to have Lita and Trish in the ring more than anything else. So, there you go. But yeah, there you go. That's obviously my take on this match.
Wasn't really invested in this match going in, and when I watched it, I think the only silver lining for me personally that I can take is cool seeing Lita and it's cool seeing Trish out there doing the things they were doing and in the incredible shape that they are in. They still look good out there putting on the show in WrestleMania. That was probably the nostalgia cool part of it. Honestly,
Yeah.
there were some cool spots here and there, but for me, I can't take Damage Control seriously because it's like they just lost the titles not too long ago. I can't even take them seriously. I don't know what they're doing with them, but honestly, they got to figure out something.
They've got to break them up. It ain't working. No one's taking them seriously. Becky took a shot at them before the Mania match that was very, very sad and very, very true. And that's the fact that they've done just nothing. Nothing. And there you go. Enough said, really. In my right mind.
Awful, but I feel like this is like another classic of this could have been on a Monday Night Raw. Could have, gave this to a Monday Night Raw. It did not have that WrestleMania feel, and the simple fact that they were just coming off a match with Seth Rollins and Logan Paul that was up here. It was going to be kind of hard for them to actually match that. So for me personally, lowest point of the show for me, but it wasn't bad. It's not something I'm going to go back and watch again. So if you missed it,
Indeed.
you didn't really miss it. Now this match, this is what you call long-term booking at its finest. Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio. This was just fun. The story was there.
Oh, you stupid advert.
What?
And
Okay, next match. Dom versus Ray. And this feud was amazing. Seriously, they went above and beyond for this feud. Home invasions, insane storytelling, Hall of Fame induction ceremony being in character for Dom and Rhea. Like, it's incredible. It was incredible. Like, the commitment that they put into the story was second to none. And the match was insane too. And the storytelling was at a fever pitch. From Dom being ex-com Dom, out of jail, an out of jail entrance that looked like how Kane looked like back in the day with his handcuffs, because Dom had the same thing. And not only that, Ray coming out with Snoop Dogg on Eddie's low rider, and not only that, the emotions that we all felt listening to Eddie's theme song in a live stadium again was incredible. Honestly, I was near to tears. Like, it was truly beautiful. And then Ray coming out with the gear that was, well, sporting the newly crowned Hall of Famer, along with Ray, of last Friday night, the Great Muta. So that's what he was sporting, which was cool. So that happened, and yeah, the match was awesome. And the feud doesn't look to be done because Bad Bunny yanked a chain out of Dom's hand, and therefore it gave Ray the win after Dom told his mother to shut up, and then his mother, Angie, slapped him, and then he threw water in his sister Aaliyah's face. Her water, by the way, because they were both in the audience for that match. And yeah, and Bad Bunny got involved, yanked the chain out of Dom's hand to give Ray the opportunity to hit the 619 and the 1-2-3. Finn and Damian Priest tried to get involved, and Santos Escobar and everyone else part of his team got involved. And yeah, and it looks like we'll be getting Bad Bunny and Ray versus Dom and Damian Priest at Backlash, considering that Bad Bunny will be hosting the show in Puerto Rico, where he lives. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Should be a great match, because that looks to be where we're going from here, as far as I know.
You see recently in WWE, if the story's there, the fans are going to buy into it. The story's been there. People have been wanting to see Dominic get the beats. People have been wanting to see Dominic get taken care of. The fact that Rey Mysterio at one point took off his belt and started whooping him was a highlight of the show for me, man. This was so...
Oh yeah, when Ray whooped his son with his belt, just literally belting him, one literally getting out that whip, spanking him. That was awesome. Borderline child abuse, but I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Man, that was perfect storytelling. But yeah, amazing match with some great highlights.
Fun. Dominic looked actually pretty good. I think he felt a little bit more comfortable, in my opinion. Granted, he's working with his dad. I love the things he was doing. We got to talk about, hell, Rey Mysterio's entrance was fantastic, coming out in the low rider, you know, to the lie, cheating steel, theme. Rest in peace, Eddie, the Viva La Raza. That was such a cool entrance. One of my favorite entrances of the night. Dominic coming out there in like this squad car, this squad vehicle, like he was like the old school Kane that had to come out with the multiple guards to the ring with handcuffs. I thought that was a nice little touch. Like, oh, he's such a badass now. The disrespect to his family at ringside by Dominic throwing a drink at his sister's face, his mom finally slapping him in the face, and then of course Judgment Day get involved, but Ray ends up having some help out there to help him with those, the newly crowned individuals that are part of the Latin World Order. It was cool to see that little run in. And Bad Bunny was on commentary. Now you're trying to figure out what's going on here. Well, Dominic is about to use some chains that Damian Priest left in his jacket. But that's when Bad Bunny goes from commentary, goes to the ring, says, nope, take the chains from him, like, you're not doing that. And that's how Ray was able to get the victory, get the pin off him, hit the 619, went to the top rope, got the pin off of him. And I believe...
Broadband bill gone up mid-contract. Switch to hyper-optic broadband.
Book your Jet2 City break now with just a £60 deposit per person.
Backlashes, let me Google this right now because I don't want to not know exactly where Backlash is going to be at this year. WWE Backlash 2023. I'm doing this live. Where is it going to be located at? Okay, I thought so. It's going to be in Puerto Rico, and Bad Bunny is going to be there. So I think they're going to do something with Bad Bunny and
Indeed.
Dominic Mysterio. I think that's going to be a thing going forward. Because obviously he got involved here. Did not think Dominic was going to lose, but hey, I'm okay with Ray winning. This was a fantastic.
Yeah, I went with Dom to win because it would have benefited his career more, but knowing how the match turned out, I can accept it for what it was. Like, it was beautiful. And then coupled with the fact that Ray's still going to be competing full time for a couple more years as a Hall of Famer, it's just amazing. It truly is amazing.
Fun match. Go watch it. Story is chef's kiss. Fantastic. All right. Now, the match that, oh, bro, they knocked this out the park. After following the Rey Mysterio and Dominic match, you got to ask, how can the SmackDown Women's Championship follow that? Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley.
That match for the SmackDown Women's Championship with Charlotte Flair going against Rhea Ripley, that match was awesome. That match was bloody awesome. Seriously. Those ladies killed it. Seriously. They literally gave each other their best match ever in their whole entire careers. Like, I put that match on the level of Shawn versus Undertaker from WrestleMania 25. The female version of that. That's how much I rate that match. That's how damn good that match was. It stole the show. It really did. And my older brother, who hasn't even watched wrestling in years, loved it as well. Like, he thought it was great too. So that just goes to show. Like, those two ladies, they blew expectations out of the water. Like, everybody knew they were going to have a great match because it's Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. And they did it well in front of no one 3 years ago. But they went mental. Like, honestly, they both won in that situation. Because not only did they have an amazing match, but they did it in front of fans. So realistically, even though Rhea won, and she was the right person to win, and she got her SmackDown Women's title that I believe she should have won, so thankfully she did. Even though she got that, no one has anything to be ashamed of. Like, in my eyes, all of the women won. We all won because we got to experience that match. It was a little tough going at the start because everybody was so drowned from all the other stuff that happened on the show. But it built up alright. And it became incredible. It really did. From Charlotte taking nasty bumps, to Rhea taking nasty bumps, to Rhea's Riptide getting kicked out for the first time by Charlotte Flair and any other women's superstar, to Rhea hitting a super Riptide to get the win after possibly knocking Charlotte Flair out. Like, they did amazing. And, yeah. Props to both women. They did awesome. Great work. Great work.
I don't even know what to say. This match started off slow. It started off slow. The crowd was kind of a little exhausted. They were kind of sitting on their hands. They were oohing off for certain things, but it started off slow. They had a little bit of some sloppy moments, but it just, at one point, they started turning it up. Shout out to Charlotte, bro. I gotta give her respect. She showed out. She made Rhea look really good. And there were some parts that made me cringe. The first part that was just like, okay, Charlotte's really, taking some.
Yeah, they took some nasty ass bumps. Like, they proper went for it. Like, they were tweaking. They were tweaking, man. They were tweaking. They really were. Like, incredible. Incredible. truly incredible.
Beats here is Charlotte's at the top rope. Rhea goes and she essentially just suplexes her off the top rope, except she doesn't fall down. She just throws her away, kind of like a throwaway toss, and she lands from the top rope, flips onto her face. Just a
All your stuff synced on all your devices. There's no place like Chrome.
hard landing. And then at some point, it kind of happened again, except she didn't fully rotate. So her neck, she landed on her head and her neck kind of, hyperextended. Oh my. When I say that looks so brutal. And you can, she landed on her face, essentially. And, you can see the bruising on her nose. But this was a hard battle. There were some moments where I'm thinking, oh, Charlotte has it, and then she kicks out. And there's some moments when Rhea, she hits a riptide in the ring. And I'm like, all right, it's over. And she kicked out, and I'm like, oh my God. And you can tell the crowd was pro Rhea here. Everyone wanted Rhea to win. I wanted Rhea to win, and she's the heel. And that was...
Yeah, I wanted Rhea to win as well. And the way that Charlotte did one of her spears, the way that she threw herself at Rhea for that spear, Jesus. That was insane. One of the best spears I've seen from Charlotte, and definitely one of the best spears I've seen anyone do in my life. God damn. Jesus.
Fantastic. It took her going to the top rope, hitting the riptide. Well, it was like the second to top rope, hitting the riptide there. Such a beautiful move from that high elevation to get the win.
Yeah, it was also from the top rope, guys. Or from the second rope. And that got her the win.
At that moment, she didn't seem like a heel. She seemed like a pure babyface. I don't know what they do with her because the fans are into her. And they made the right decision. Charlotte put her over. It felt like a double turn here because Charlotte was definitely getting a little spicy, a little disrespectful. So you think it would probably been a double turn. But overall, this was great. That was, the match started off. I'm not going to lie. It starts off so slow considering what match was before it. But that was a very, very good women's championship match. It could have been a main eventer for sure. But we all knew what the main
without a
event
doubt
had to be for the night. And the main event. Well, they actually added an extra match, Pat McAfee versus the...
Pat McAfee also came back from out of nowhere, which was amazing. And he went against The Miz in an impromptu match. It was alright. Pat won, but it was more just for fun. And, it was fun. But anyway, the main event, oh my God. Storytelling at its finest. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus Jimmy and Jay the Usos for the SmackDown and Raw Undisputed Tag Team titles. And it was insane, as you'll see in a moment.
That was an impromptu match. It was cool to see Pat out there. Honestly, I didn't think this match needed to be on the card because it kind of, overbloated the show. But it was cool. Nice little funny moments there. So, Pat McAfee getting the win. So, that was a cool one. But the match that we all wanted to see, the Undisputed Tag Team Championships, the Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. What am I to say, bro? One of the best tag team matches I've seen in so long. Maybe one of the best tag team matches all year for some. And I couldn't argue with it.
It's the best tag team match that has happened this year, hands down. And definitely probably on the top 10, top 5 greatest tag team matches I've ever seen in my life. The Usos are amazing. They really are. They can pull match of the year out of their ass. Just without fail, without no prep. Those guys are naturals. And with Zayn and Owens, it was amazing. It really was.
This match was great.
From a storytelling perspective.
I want y'all to understand, for those who was part of the live stream, if you know Sir Dance-A-Lot, he's been in a few of our videos. He hasn't really watched wrestling like that. He doesn't. He knows about it, but he, certain people, but he doesn't watch wrestling like that. Sir Dance-A-Lot was there. Because Dub at the time was, talking to guests. He was there from the beginning of that match all the way to the end. He was hooked. He doesn't know nothing about the Usi bloodline storyline. He was hooked. To the point where he may want to show up again tonight to watch night 2. That's how captivating this match was. You didn't even have to know about it, but you knew it was something special. It started off slow, methodical, and then their end goal was to isolate and come.
Yeah, like a lot of people may not like the methodical style that was at play there, but I mean, they were telling a story first and foremost, because it was a storytelling match. It wasn't a wrestling match, even though those guys can definitely do that without a doubt, but it was a storytelling match, and it accomplished that more than anything else.
Sammy was catching the beats, bro. I'm talking about Sammy selling this. He's getting tag team with multiple kicks, because you can see that Jimmy and Jay, they know this. This is nothing new to them. So they are working. There's hidden tags here and there. You didn't know. They were on their game. I like the fact that nobody else in the bloodline got involved. It was just about these 4 men. And I don't even know what to tell you. There was a moment in this match multiple times where it looks like Kevin.
Yeah, like that match was insane. The Usos were tweaking. Zayn and Owens were tweaking at times. Like, it was awesome from a storyline perspective. Maybe not so much from a wrestling perspective, but from a storyline perspective, it really was. Like, those guys can tell a story.
Owens was done. Where it looks like Sami Zayn was there was a spot, like a powerbomb spot. Kevin Owens just got obliterated. Now Sami Zayn is by himself, and he's doing the ultimate underdog move. He kicked out of the 1D. No one does that. I believe Michael said no one had ever kicked out. He kicked out by himself.
Yeah. Like, literally, nobody's kicked out of the 1D, much like the Riptide. Those two moves were very protected for the longest time, and they've been kicked out of by one single person each time. And they created phenomenal moments back to back, which was amazing.
Kicked out, and he's laying on the rope saying no. Jay is giving him the beat. Jay hits him with a haluva kick. He's talking trash to him. He's barely has anything left, and he's fighting. Oh my God, this was great. This was fantastic. I love the ending sequence where Jay is lined up in the corner and the crowd's going so insane. Sammy's charged up, got that dog in him, hits him with 3, I believe, haluva kicks. Jay is barely holding up, and he's looking at him the same way that he was.
Yeah, it took 3 haluva kicks to put down Jay from Sammy. And you could even hear Zayn saying, "I'm sorry." And that's amazing. Amazing storytelling. God damn, man.
Just looking at him not too long ago in that match, it was beautiful. And we have new undisputed WWE Tag Team Champs. Best match of the night, in my opinion. This was fantastic. This ended perfectly how it should have. I don't even know what to say. This was great. If you haven't seen this match, go watch it. Do yourself a favor. Take 20 to 30 minutes out your time, out your day. Watch it. Fantastic. I don't really have nothing else to say. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. And that was night one. Night one, it's going to be very tough for night two to top this, but night two can, depending on how things play out. But night one sold me. Triple H.
Night one was amazing, but night two left a lot to be desired, to say the very least, which we are going to go on to. Pardon me, guys.
Knocked it out the park here. Outside of the lackluster finish on the first match with Austin Theory and John Cena, and that women's match, every match on this card, I ain't really care too much about the Miz and Pat McAfee, but I don't really count that. Every match on this card was fantastic. 8 and up on the scale of 1 to 10. If I had to rate night one on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. A 9 out of 10. This was fantastic. That main event alone is so goddamn good. I give this a 9.5 out of 10, honestly. This was a great WrestleMania for night one. Like last year's night one was so much fun. I think this year's night one is way better than last year's night one. And that's a lot. That's saying a lot. This was just so damn good, bro. This was so damn good. It wasn't bloated. They didn't have too many matches. It was short, concise, right to the point. And that's it. So, let me know down below, what was your favorite match from night one? Did you guys enjoy night one? And what was your least favorite match? What do you rate the show on a scale of 1 to 10? I want to know all about it. I'm trying to know all about it, man. But I appreciate all the love and support you guys have shown on the channel. Road to 150K. And hopefully, I can still be your Intercuts World Heavyweight Champion after tonight's stream.
Anyway, we are now going on to night 2 of Mania, because obviously that is what's next in line.
So I'm Harry Brook, an international cricket player.
So here we go.
When I was made MLB Europe ambassador, I received a challenge.
And maybe it's LA.
So let's send it back.
Squarespace is a website that makes websites. And people.
On WrestleMania, night 2, night 1 ended off fantastic. Night 2,
Indeed it did.
it hurt a little bit. We're going to talk about it. But I will say, overall, WrestleMania this year was a success in my opinion. Both nights definitely delivered when they needed to deliver. So we're going to get straight into it. We got to talk about, I'm going to go through each of the matches. I'll give my opinions on it.
Yeah, in my opinion, night 2 definitely left a lot to be desired compared to night 1. Like, it was still alright. Like, there is some good on this night 2 of this year's Mania, but it's just cramped in with all the stuff that was sort of just like, eh. So, yeah. Everything definitely came in pockets on night 2, but we'll obviously talk about it. So, here we go, obviously.
And I'm going to get y'all opinions on, which night you feel is better, what was your favorite match from tonight, and everything that, may be going forward. So, shout out to everyone that was a part of the stream tonight. You guys were amazing. As you can tell, my voice is a little hoarse, a little sore, because, man, that main event just took me over the edge. But we're going to talk about the main event later on. Thank you to everyone that was part of the stream. Thank you to everyone that made Dub's birthday that much greater. You guys are amazing. All right, so they started off the show with Omos and Brock Lesnar. They started.
Okay, so they started night 2 off with Omos versus Brock Lesnar. and it was fine. It was okay, but it was a bit sort of. It was kind of like the Cena and Fury match, where it was kind of like it just, It was kind of just meh. It was whatever. I mean, I will admit that Cena versus Fury was better than Lesnar versus Omos, but it don't really matter which one you go for, because both of them are just as meh as each other, but for different reasons. The feud has been fine, and obviously we've already figured out where each guy will go from there. Omos is busy squashing pretty much superstars that are now jobbers, as of now, and Lesnar turned heel on Cody. So, yeah. And that was all on Raw. Bearing in mind this week's Raw, that was very, 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 very bad. Very bad.
They got it right out the way. And surprisingly, even though when Omos came out there, no one really gave him a reaction. That's kind of telling. But of course, when Brock comes out there, he's going to always get a reaction. Surprisingly, this match was more entertaining than I expected it to be. I thought this was going to kind of be more or less not a glorified squash match in the sense of Omos losing, because I had a feeling Omos was going to lose. But I didn't think it was going to be as entertaining as it was. And I think the crowd really helped this match out even more. The fact that when the match started and Omos was dominating Brock Lesnar, that rarely happens. It's a rare sight to see Brock Lesnar struggle. The fact
Lesnar had a tough time with Omos, like, good God. Jesus. It was definitely interesting. That's for sure. That is for very sure.
The fact that Omos was throwing Brock like a sack of potatoes was just insane. And he was working on Brock's back, so Brock was having a tough time trying to hit him with the F5 and suplexing him. Like, Brock was having a tough time. Brock was doing some great work at selling. He was having a tough time, and it didn't look like it was going to be one-sided here. But of course, suplex started coming out, and then once Brock was able to hit the F5 on him, all it took was one F5.
Yeah, and 3 suplexes. So it was a bit sad, in all honesty. But it's difficult because there's not a lot you can do with a guy like Omos because he's so big. So the best thing for them to do was to get it over quick. And it was built to be an attraction match from the start, which it accomplished that. So good for the dub for that, I suppose. But there you go.
1, 2, 3. And that was it. And then Omos, rolls out the ring afterwards. Doesn't really look like he was super affected by it. And it looked like, Omos was like, I was that close. And it looked like they were maybe setting up something else for them. I hope not. Please. No. I don't want to see this no more. But they may be doing that at some future event, maybe Backlash, who knows. But Omos didn't look like he was done. He was like, I was this close, so I don't know. Honestly, the match was better than I expected it to. The crowd was pretty hot during this match, so it was serviceable. It was I see why they started off the night with this match. It was cool. It's not something I want to see again, so solid match.
I mean, to be fair, Lesnar, I think, just wanted his paycheck and just wanted to go as well, while also getting the job done, because it's like, if I'm not on the main event, and there's no point in me waiting around, which I can understand that, if you Brock Lesnar. So, yeah, understandable, by all accounts, but at least he did what he needed to do with Omos, so there's that, I guess.
Now, in my opinion, easily the worst match of the night. This match right here. Liv Morgan Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalia and Shotzi.
So you've got the 6-women showcase match. Yeah, these two did not. These lot did not deliver. Sonya Deville, Chelsea Green, Natalia, Shotzi, Ronda, Shayna, Liv, and Raquel Gonzalez. These lot did not deliver. And I don't know what the hell Ronda was doing, just hanging around outside waiting to get the pin. Like, what the hell, dude? Like, seriously. Ronda didn't even try. Even though it's been very, very prevalent during her second go round with the company. But she did not try. And it's depressing. And therefore this match was not very good. Nothing like the men's. Didn't even come close to the men's. Like, the women's division looked very, very just bad. It looked bad. Really did. Sucks to be the women.
Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler versus Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. I didn't care about this match going into it. I didn't care about the match when it was happening. I didn't care about the match when it was over. It was cool to see Raquel Rodriguez get to show off her dominant side, like, her strong suits, but I didn't care. And the fact that Ronda and Shayna were pretty much out the match the entire match. They barely did anything. And then they ended up picking the win at the end. I don't know if they're going for the tag titles, the women's tag titles. That could be interesting. Ronda and Shayna versus Becky and Lita. They have history. Ronda has history with Ronda. Ronda has history with Ronda. Ronda has history with Becky. So that could be interesting.
Yeah.
I would be okay with that, but honestly, I just didn't care. It was it wasn't really clean in the ring. It was they were, missing spots. It kind of looked sloppy. The crowd was dead. And this was not a great way to start off the show. You start off with Brock and Omos, which, had a crowd a little bit lively. Then you get this match, and the crowd was completely dead. And
yeah. Like, that made the Brock and Omos match look like a 5-star classic. Which I never thought I would ever say. Anyway, I've just got a message, Sammy, guys. There we go, I've done that now. So, let's turn it back on.
I was like, I don't know. WrestleMania Night 2 is starting off a little shaky, but I knew for a fact after these two matches, everything else was going to sort itself out, and that's exactly what happened. With the Intercontinental Championship match, Gunther versus Drew versus Sheamus. What do I have to say?
Walter, Sheamus, and Drew beat the living tar out of each other, and it was amazing. Like, honestly, that is why I love. That is why I love watching Walter matches, because I know that I'm going to be in for a treat, and that night was no different. Like, those lot just turned up, like, they were mental, and the commentary for that match was amazing as well. Much like Night 1's commentary, that was great too. The feud was alright. Not the greatest, but not terrible. But the match was amazing. And I'm glad that Walter won, because he should have, in my opinion.
What do I have to say about this match? This 10 out of 10 match. This was so damn good, bro. I can't even go into it because at the time we was trying to set up the stream for Dub and Sir Dance-A-Lot to, be a part of the stream. So I was, kind of working on that, but I was watching the match as it was happening, and Michael Cole's commentary was like everyone there. He was so excited. He was standing up, giving them a standing ovation because these guys were trying to steal the show, and they damn near would have if it was on any other program. If it was on any other wrestling event, this match would have stole the show. Unfortunately, it wasn't. But it damn near could have. This triple threat was fantastic. I knew it was. I love this match. It was hard hitting.
I knew they would go mental and turn up, but that was extreme, man. Good lord. Like, for me, I do believe that it was the match of the night for me personally. So, there you go. But the next two matches were very good as well, for what they were.
It's brutal.
Make your money go further with Jet2 Holidays. Package holidays you can trust.
I love the spots where Sheamus and Drew are giving Gunther the beats. And I like the fact that at the end, Gunther picked his spots. He picked his spots, and the right person won. I said this. Gunther doesn't need to be losing yet. You're trying to build him as one of the most credible Intercontinental champions we have ever seen. And God, man, he's doing it. So, hey, me personally, go watch this match. Honestly, you can kind of skip the first two matches. If you miss WrestleMania Night 2 tonight, start it at the Intercontinental Championship, and I think you'll probably rank this as one of the best WrestleManias of all time. This was so good. Fantastic. Loved it. 10 out of 10. Go watch it. You will not be disappointed. It's what we got at Clash at the Castle with Sheamus and Gunther, but you add Drew to the mix, and it's just perfect. Fantastic. Now we got the Raw Women's Championship. Bianca Belair versus Asuka. Now they had a very tough task because the SmackDown's Women's Championship match was great. It started off slow and then it just went to new heights. So they had a tough task to follow that.
Okay, well, I should have said the next three matches, but you guys will get what I mean if you've watched Night 2 of Mania. But anyway, Bianca versus Asuka. The feud damn near sucks. In fact, not even close to damn near. It did suck. And it sucked hard. So we'll ignore that. The match was alright, but Asuka should have won. The Asuka should have won. Seriously. There was no need for Bianca to retain. No need. And, yeah. I don't know what to say in regards to that. So, moving on.
And I think they did pretty well. I think they did they did a good job. The fact that Bianca Belair pretty much holding her own, showing her strength. I love that Bianca they position her as showing her how strong she is. And Asuka, the smaller woman, may not be as strong, but she's good at her submission techniques. She's good at the grappling. She's good at trying to get you to tap out. She's good at with her speed. I love that dynamic. This match was good. I enjoyed it. Crowd was into it. And once again, they're following a match, the Intercontinental Championship match, which had the crowd up here. So for them to follow that match and still have the crowd there, that was a telling sign. That was a very telling sign. At one point, I definitely did think that Bianca was going to maybe tap out. But once again, they showed her strength, bro. Her powering her up on her shoulder while trying to get out of a submission to hit her with the KOD finisher, bro. Beautiful. Showing her strength. Crowd was amazed. Her deadlifting her from the top rope all the way to the ring on the other side, inside the ring. Oh my God, bro. Fantastic. She won. I thought she was going to lose here. I know some people were wanting Asuka to win it. I don't know what they're going to do here. I think Asuka winning would have been a good choice here. But they got to have something planned for her. Granted, I don't know who she faces now. So, I don't know. But the match was good. I think Asuka should have won, in my opinion. But they gave it to Bianca, and they wanted her to be the champ still. So, we will see how things play out going forward. Who will be her next opponent? Or maybe do they run it back at Backlash? And maybe she drops it then at Backlash. I don't know. We will see. I'm thinking that could possibly be the case. They probably run it back with Asuka one more time, and they drop it at Backlash. All right, so my fucking voice is going. We had an impromptu match. Once again, The Miz stayed getting into matches or whatnot, impromptu situations. Miz felt some type of way with the whole Pat McAfee situation with Snoop Dogg. So, out of nowhere, fucking shit.
So now we've got a, I guess, impromptu match, you could say. The Miz, well, ended up feeling salty about what happened with Pat McAfee. So Snoop Dogg basically challenges Miz to a match with a superstar of Snoop's choosing, or whoever was going to come out. And from out of nowhere, it ended up being Shane McMahon. And, yeah. I had mixed emotions about that. I really did. Considering of how Shane got fired by Vince due to how he made the men's Royal Rumble last year. But obviously disaster struck a minute and 37 seconds later, and that was when Shane, I think, tore his quad, and they had to pull an audible, and therefore this gets mental, alright. Basically, Snoop Dogg right hooks The Miz, and then probably does another right hook, and does a doggy dog elbow, as I like to call it, and wins the match. So it ends up being a mini triple threat match. Obviously it was for fun, but I don't know what to say. I mean, it was fine, but I don't know.
Shane McMahon comes out. Just random. And I don't know, he ends up getting hurt. While they start a match, he ends up getting hurt, trying to take on The Miz. I don't know what the hell happened there. And then, all of a sudden, Snoop Dogg said, screw it, I'll insert myself into this. And he hits The Miz with a people's elbow. Pretty good elbow drop too. It was a fun moment. Can't really take it too seriously. Just seeing Snoop out there.
Indeed.
Uncle Snoop being Uncle Snoop, bro. People love Snoop Dogg wherever he's at, whatever he's doing. It was a cool moment, cool fun.
Indeed.
WrestleMania.
I love myself some of Snoop Dogg too.
Now this right here was fun for me. Edge versus the Demon Finn Balor. Their entrances alone, Edge's Brood entrance alone, with the winged suit, fantastic, beautiful. In the sense of just how it looked with the flames, I was just like, bro, this was, they killed it. And even Finn Balor's entrance with his makeup was fantastic. Entrances right there, great. The fact that we got the OG Cell back, no red Cell, no nothing distracting. The OG Hell in a Cell, love that. And I like that this was personal. Edge still hasn't forgiven Finn Balor for what happened with Beth. This is very, very personal. And you can tell it was personal. They were already getting the weaponry out as soon as the match started. Now, there is a spot in this match that a lot of people are going to be talking about. Edge brings out a ladder. And he throws the...
So we've got Edge versus Demon King. The feud, obviously it's been a year in the making, has been awesome, and their match was a very, very good Hell in a Cell match for what it was. And I'm glad that we got the original Hell in a Cell. I'm glad that we got Demon King, obviously. I'm glad that we got Brood Edge. I really wish we had Gangrel back in the cut. Or the cut. But whatever. It's speaking of cuts, there was one moment in the match where Edge got a ladder, threw it at the Demon King, head first, and it busted him open. Quite realistically. Like, goddamn. And, yeah. Pretty hardcore. Pretty hardcore indeed. And, yeah. And I don't know what the hell Edge was wearing. He was wearing like a cyborg Batman attire with the bat wings. That was mental. With a very good song, by the way. Very good song. Along with his classic Metalingus that everyone loved and still do. And, yeah. And then Demon King had like a mixed paint job with the wet red and purple, which was even better than I envisioned. Much like with me thinking that Dom was going to come out on Eddie's Lowrider, and I ended up being Ray that did it. Again, came out better than I thought it would in my mind. So yeah, match was good. Edge won, which I do think Demon King should have won, but at least Demon King was treated better in this match than he was with him and Roman Reigns. So that's something, I guess. That's something that I can take away from it.
Ladder at Finn Balor. And then Finn Balor, you don't see the camera angle, but you see nothing but blood gush out. And I honestly think he got hit. Like, that was a legit, like, he got busted open hard way. This wasn't no blade job, because they don't do that in WWE. If you see blood in WWE, 9 times out of 10, it's a legit, like, you know, a legit hard busted open situation. And that's what happened, because they cut the camera. They stopped the match. They opened up the Hell in a Cell to get some officials in there to get this bleeding to stop as much as possible. Luckily, he had the paint on so you couldn't see it, but you could see it all over the ring canvas. So they purposely cut to Edge's face, but they never showed Finn Balor. Any other time in a Hell in a Cell back in the day, you expected blood. So to see blood legitimately this time, not gonna lie to you, was a cool touch. But of course, we didn't really see it too much, because WWE got their investors they trying to keep happy. So it was one of those things that was definitely not planned, but it.
Plus, you obviously want to protect the superstar's health first and foremost, because, well, with all the concussion-related injuries and all that other stuff that has plagued WWE for years, yeah, they want to be keeping their superstars safe. So I can understand why they did that, other than to make their investors happy. So there you go.
Added more to the match, and I like the fact that Edge is still in character. He's not giving a damn that he just busted him open. At this point, he's trying to find more weaponry to make sure he finishes him off.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
This was another cool spot. So Edge brings in the table, and he ends up being the one getting beaten down on the table. Brutal chair shots while Edge is laying on the table.
Yeah, so he sets up a table. He gets some crazy chair shots to the ribs. Then Demon Balor climbs up the cell. Conveniently, there's a plate there that he's standing on and tries to leap off of, which is literally what I said live when watching it. But yeah, he does that, and then Edge gets out the way, and Finn coup de grace himself through the table, which was insane. I could have damn near broken his feet. So that was mental.
He's up and getting hit with the chair shot.
Crazy spot.
So you think Finn's going to go to the top to hit the coup de grace, top rope? No. He jumps to the cage, gets higher, and then jumps off. But Edge rolls, so he jumps straight through the table, sent his legs straight to the gulag.
Are you guys like an order in the local language, or just point at the menu and say, I need that?
Order in the...
You speak 5 languages,
I was
bro.
going to say... Yeah.
It's unfair. It's an unfair question.
I can try. Owen needs to help me.
Yeah?
You need
Yeah, just ask for water, you know?
Let's do
French. Yeah.
Relax. His legs were done after that. And then this is when Edge proceeds to go to that dark place. Finn Balor's laying face down on the canvas. He gets the chair, puts his head on the chair. He gets out the ring. He gets him another chair. And what made this so...
So this is where Finn is basically down on the floor and Edge is getting ready to do something. Gets out another chair, puts a chair on Finn's head, like underneath his face. And, yeah, delivers a concerto to end the match. After an execution off the ladder didn't work, after an Edge-o-matic didn't work, after a spear didn't work, all of Edge's iconic signature finisher match spots didn't work. It was the concerto that got Edge the win.
Cool, poetically, storyline-wise.
Indeed.
This is how Beth Phoenix was... This is the situation Beth Phoenix was in. When Edge couldn't do nothing, and he had to watch his wife get concertoed. That's the same look Edge had. You know, I didn't know exactly what he said, and I'm sure some of you guys will comment down what he actually said at the time before he hit Finn Balor with the chair. But boy, it was a beautiful, poetic scene. And he cracked him with that concerto, 1, 2, 3, and it was over.
Indeed. Like, very, very good poetic moment, storyline-wise. Loved that moment.
Now, I did see a lot of people saying, well, damn, what about Finn? He just lost. He's supposed to be the leader of the group, and he can't beat an Edge that's about to retire. I think they more so wanted to go with the story here. Honestly, it should have happened when they had their mixed tag match, but it didn't end there. It was more so like, nah, we still want the smoke type situation. So it should have ended there, but they wanted to bring it out, you know, bring a Hell in a Cell, and it's a personal feud. So I'm not mad that Edge won, but at the same time, I can understand that Finn could have used that win. The only person that won this weekend from Judgment Day is Rhea. And
yeah, Finn could have used that win, but it was a lot more satisfying of a loss for the Demon than his loss to Roman. Like, him being beaten by Edge in that way. Like, it was a lot more satisfying.
It'll be interesting to see what happens going forward. But either way, I enjoyed that Hell in a Cell. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was great, entertaining. Definitely go check it out. It's definitely worth the watch. And hopefully we will see where Edge will move on to. Who will he be facing? Because the reports are that he's supposed to retire this year. So we will see who will be next on the list for Edge to be feuding with. And we're going to get to the match of the night, in my opinion, bro. The undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Roman.
Okay, Cody versus Roman. The feud was good. Had some great promo work from both men. The match was pretty good on a story level perspective. Cody coming out with that pyro and what have you was incredible. Him having fun with his kid and his wife, Brandy Rhodes, and him giving his belt to Brody Lee's son, like great Brody Lee, was quite nice. Didn't even know he did that, but very, very nice, in my opinion. And yeah, beautiful moments, good match, good story, but Roman won, and that hurts, and we will go into more detail on that momentarily.
Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. This was great. This was fantastic. This was great.
For me, if someone's not showing me respect, I think it's more a reflection of themselves. I'm trying to live a positive life. Yeah, I'm always trying to like...
I don't even know what to say other than they showed out in this match. Cody's entrance alone was fantastic. Him coming through the ramp, got all the pyro. He got the wings on the back of his fit.
I liked how he went up from the Raptors for that entrance, much like last year's Mania. It definitely felt right for them to do that, and yeah, good for Cody, obviously.
Beautiful. Roman coming out to a group of people on the piano playing his theme song, and then him coming out, pyro. Cody meeting his wife, greeting his daughter, greeting, I believe it was Luke Harper's son. I believe that was his son. He gave him the belt.
Luke Harper's son.
The belt that he was wearing. They were close in AEW, and the fact that they mentioned that on commentary was also a beautiful thing. So him doing that, it just, bro, you would have thought the way they set this match up that this was it.
Indeed.
I truly thought this was it. As the match went on, it just, you would have thought this was it. I like the fact that Roman was doing Roman stuff, but Cody was really getting the upper hand on him. And Roman wasn't prepared. He had to take him a little bit more seriously. And I like that. I like the fact that he had to get some hype from Paul Heyman because Roman was very surprised. Solo was out there with them. And Solo, there to enforce. He hit.
And there was no Usos. Like, it was literally Solo coming out to the ring, and then the Usos got involved a little while after, and then enter Sami and KO to floor them away, and that was a good moment.
Cody with the chair to hurt his ribs. Ref didn't see it. Then he ends up getting the strap, the little belt that he gave the kid, I guess, and hits him with it. Obviously, the ref noticed something and kicked him out, told him to get out of there. But the story they were building is Roman is not new to this. He's true to this. He's been doing this. He's main evented multiple WrestleManias. Cody has never done this. This is his first time. He's in deep water. Roman felt comfortable. Cody was trying to fight the odds. And the crowd was definitely pro Cody here. Multiple Cody chants. This match was just so executed perfectly. The way they were setting things up, the story they were telling, Cody trying to fight. Another great moment. Obviously, the Usos come out. Another great moment. They're jumping Cody. And you knew Sami and Kevin Owens was going to come out. Of course, they come out. They start attacking them, giving everybody the beats, getting the Usos out of the ring. And I love this visual. And I thought, oh my God, they're going to do it. I've been saying this for weeks. Having Sami and Kevin Owens, especially Sami, be involved in the process of Cody winning will be that make that story that much better.
That would have been
everyone
beautiful.
Wants Sami to get that revenge on Roman. So Roman's by himself. And it was such a good sight. Roman gets hit with a stunner. And then he's end up in the corner. And it was so good to see Sami hit him with the haluva kick. For all the things he had to deal with. It was such a beautiful sight.
Indeed.
Oh my God. And then the Usos get back into the ring and they start brawling, bro. And of course, there's always the referee spot. The shenanigans or whatnot. Multiple close near falls. A pedigree was hit. Rock bottom was hit. Crossroads was hit. Whatnot. So we're getting toward the ends of the match. I'm an emotional wreck, bro. I'm thinking this is it. They're about to do this. They're about to really end it. This is about to happen, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, I was at a high and just, oh my God. Great match, though. So now Cody's in control. He just got out of the guillotine choke. He fought through. He's fighting through. He starts smashing Roman, bro. Just smashing ground and pound.
Yeah, so they hit rock bottoms. Roman brings back the gear team finally, about damn time, and they do Superman punches, crossroads, Cody cutters. They whip out all their arsenal. They really do. Disaster kick, I think, was maybe delivered at one point. Like, they proper go for it. Solo got involved a couple of times, got injected from ring side.
Now giving him the beats to get out of the guillotine, and bruh, he hits him with one crossroads, but that's not enough. No. Crowd's going crazy. I'm going crazy. He hits him with a second crossroads.
I know I was going crazy.
Nah. That's not enough. You gotta put Roman away. That's when Paul gets involved. Paul distracts the referee. The referee's trying to get Paul off the apron. Then Solo come back again with a hoodie on, hits Cody with the Samoan spike, which sets up Roman.
So Heyman comes back, basically gets upon the apron, distracts the ref. Solo comes back and hits a Samoan spike on Cody. And then the reality came crashing down upon everyone.
To hit Cody with the spear for the 1, the 2, and the 3. And all the air out of the crowd just got sucked up into the atmosphere. It was just, people couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Well, when I was watching it live, I couldn't believe it. Like, it was life-sucking. It was like watching a family member or a loved one that you were close to just die right in front of you. Like, it was heartbreaking. I literally sat there for like a good 5 or 10 minutes just not being able to say a word. Like, every time I tried to say something, nothing would come out. Because it was unbelievable. But I do understand why they did it. They wanted Roman to reach 1,000 days. And obviously, as I got sleep, because I definitely needed it, considering of how long I was awake watching those 2 nights of Mania live. So after getting a bit of sleep, after processing the situation, watching videos on it, I'm a bit more comfortable with knowing that Cody lost. But I still don't think it should have happened. But either way, life goes on, as it always does.
We were so in shock, because I'm like, holy shit, they didn't pull the trigger. They didn't pull the trigger. I couldn't believe it, bro. Even now, as I'm processing it, as I'm thinking about it, I still can't believe they did not pull the trigger. And Roman Reigns is still your undisputed champ.
There's no one else left for him to face. He's beaten them all. Literally. Like Cena, Edge, Daniel Bryan, Rey Mysterio, Cesaro, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Logan Paul of all people. Who else? Brock Lesnar. The Fiend, Braun Strowman. Jesus Christ, who else did he defeat? Seth Rollins. It's just, he's beaten them all. One way or another, he's beaten them all. There is no one else for him to face. And the only people that he could have him face are either injured, in the mid-card, or ill right now. And the 3 guys I'm on about are Randy Orton, Walter, and Bray Wyatt. And not only that, Matt Riddle also fell up short against Roman, along with Bobby Lashley, kind of, in a random Raw match. And yeah, they've all of them have been beaten. There's no one left. There is no one left other than them three. And they're already taken. And obviously add Cody now onto the list of people that have been beaten.
I don't even know what to say. I don't even. The WrestleMania, when he faced Daniel Bryan and Edge, he had to win that. The WrestleMania where he faced Brock, he needed to win that. The WrestleMania where he faced Cody, I thought this was it.
Me too.
And he won it. Here's the thing. I'm not upset because, once again, I obviously know there's still more story to tell here. And they're going to continue to tell the downfall.
They definitely are going to continue that story.
It's going to
as they already have.
It started last night when the Usos lost, but Roman still is at the head of the table. So the only thing I can think of is they're going to continue that story. They're going to continue the downfall of the bloodline. They're going to continue the story of, okay, Roman won, the Usos lost. Do you think Roman's going to be okay with that? No. Roman is going to definitely at some point chastise them. He's going to talk about that. He's going to get on Jay. He's going to get on Jimmy. And it may get to a point where he may start getting even more disrespectful. Because, like, I'm the guy that's holding the family up. Y'all don't have y'all championships. I do. Not realizing that the only reason why Roman has had his championship for so long is because of his family. And I think that's going to be a good story to tell. Roman's going to get big-headed because this is the guy that everyone told, that everyone really was like, yeah, it's Cody's time. And once again, family helped. And I can see Jay not liking it. I can see Jimmy not liking it. And then I can see
Squarespace is a website that makes websites.
God damn it.
Solo starting to realize what's going on here. And ultimately, when that all happens, and when his family turns his back on him, and he has no one to protect him, he has no one to help him outside of Paul Heyman.
Like, if Roman goes on a big-headed train, Jimmy will leave. Jay will leave. Even Solo will leave. And quite possibly Paul Heyman.
And even Paul, I can see Paul. I can potentially maybe see Paul starting to feel some type of way. Maybe he starts getting rude and disrespectful to Paul as well. Because he'll be the only one left. He'll be the only punching bag. Maybe Paul be the last straw. But either way, when all his family's gone, that's probably when he'll lose.
Indeed.
Now the question becomes, who does he lose to? Because I don't think this story with Cody is over. It can't be. It can't end like that. There's no way his story ends like that. Granted, I wish his story was completed at WrestleMania.
It'll be a slap to me. It'll be a slap to the WWE Universe. It'll be a slap to Cody himself, his wife, his kid, Luke Harper's kid. It'll be a slap in the face to the Bloodline themselves. Are obviously doing this story. Like, it'll be a slap in the face to everyone, almost. It really would.
But what happens? Does his story get completed at SummerSlam? Now, a lot of you guys were saying this is a match Roman should not be losing to anyone except WrestleMania. And I don't know if they can book another year of him winning. I don't know if they have the capabilities to do that because Roman is beating everybody. Yeah, you can call up some NXT talent, but they're not going to be ready. Some people are saying maybe Gunther, but Gunther.
Yeah, like they won't be able to sustain that Roman title reign for a whole nother year. They're not going to be able to do that. I mean, you could call up talent from NXT, but they're not ready. I'm sorry. There's a fine line between NXT and the main roster. And you could have Walter do it, but he's in the mid-card. So again, you can't do it.
He's a heel, more or less. Now, he does have help, but I don't think it's his time yet. He got to drop the IC title. So it's not his time yet. It's not, some people are saying maybe Seth and Roman at WrestleMania 40, but you got to really wait all the way to WrestleMania 40? I know they want him to have the title over 1,000 days. And he will.
Yeah, that's fine. He will get that title. He will reign supreme for 1,000 days. That will happen for a fact. I'm fine with that. But nobody's going to be able to wait around a whole year for WrestleMania 40 to come around where they run Seth versus Roman back. No one is. Hell no.
But at the same time,
they can't do that.
How?
That's not sustainable.
One, we need to get the titles off. Monday Night Raw don't even have a champion, to be honest with you.
Indeed.
Roman shows up whenever he wants. And SmackDown.
Yeah, right. Raw has caught the short end of the stick for the past few years now without a championship. So, there you go.
More or less has a champion. So, you still need to split the titles. How are you going to do that?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of questions that got to get answered.
You got to do that.
And I'm still of the camp, Roman should only lose at WrestleMania. If it's not WrestleMania, then it's a bust. That's just...
I am too. I'm in that ballpark, but again, they can't stretch this out for another year. They can't. There's no way. You simply cannot. Like, it's not possible, nor is it sustainable.
It's my opinion. Him losing will still be great. It'll probably get a great crowd reaction if it was at SummerSlam or something like that, but I still think the biggest show of the year should be when Roman loses at WrestleMania. So, and then you also have to take into consideration Money in the Bank. Will LA Knight, I know a lot of people love LA Knight, will LA Knight be somebody that could win Money in the Bank this year? And would you actually go through with a cash in? Because here's the thing. With this particular situation, it would have made sense if Cody won it, because then someone cashing in on Cody would have been a heartbreaking moment or a star-making moment.
I do hope that LA Knight gets the Money in the Bank contract. On that note, I think that would be a great thing for him. Definitely better than what they did with Theory last year. That's all I will say. But anyway.
Think about how Roman Reigns' title should end, his title reign. It shouldn't end on a cash in. I can tell you that now. It should be a clean penny. His title reign is too big. It would have made sense if Cody won it, because then someone cashing in on Cody would have been a heartbreaking moment or
Indeed,
a star-making moment. Someone cashing in on Roman, they gotta be the guy next.
Definitely.
And maybe it's LA. But when I really think about how Roman Reigns' title should end, his title reign, it shouldn't end on a cash in. I can tell you that now. It should be a clean penny. His title reign is too big to end off on a cash in. So that's why I say I can't even buy into that, whoever wins. Unless they pull a swerve, they pull a big swerve, and have Cody win the Money in the Bank to get his opportunity, and then he cashes in legit like. But I think a lot of fans would hate that. So I don't know. I don't know, man. This is a crazy one. I don't know what they do going forward.
That would be an interesting thing, but I don't know how fans would respond to that. So, yeah.
But I will say this. It's one of the best WrestleMania main event matches I've seen in quite some time.
Book your Jet2 City Break now with just a £60 deposit per person.
I put this WrestleMania match as just intensity, crowd reaction. I put this up there with one of my favorites, the Daniel Bryan Yes Movement main event between Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, and Batista. That was just lightning in a bottle. That atmosphere was hot, just like this. That main event was great.
Indeed.
This main event was fantastic. Lost my fucking voice, and I'm okay with that. So, I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Comment down below. Let me know. What's your favorite match of night?
Yeah, WrestleMania was definitely a good show, but I would definitely say that night 1 was better. But that's just me.
Which night you guys prefer?
But that's just me. You guys can make your own opinions up in the comments section below. But yeah, overall WrestleMania was pretty good. It wasn't too bad. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this review video of Mania and all that jazz, then like, comment, subscribe, share the videos, favorite the videos. If we could get up to 200 likes, that'd be great. And yeah, ciao guys.